congratulations on a big win.
Thank you.
13 runs in the fourth inning. Kind of tell me a little bit about that inning. It was kind of like an Oprah Winfrey show. You get a hit and you get a
You
hit
get
and
it.
you get a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really do feel like hitting is contagious. Good at bats are contagious. And they just had this relentless approach and presence to them of just figuring out a way to extend the inning past the bat and just keep it going. And they got down in counts and they didn't flinch. And I mean, even through that whole inning, Coach Gasso pointed out there wasn't even a home run. It was just stringing a bunch of hits, running the bases really well. Just a really great presence today. That was fun. We should do that all the time. I mean, come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's an easy game. How's Morgan? What's the injury with her? What happened on that play on the ball that was hit back up the middle?
There's no injury. There was no
Okay.
injury.
Okay.
I think it just took kind of a funny hop on her, and then she couldn't really get a grip, and we
Okay.
just felt like we had already planned on using both her and Ha, and so we
Okay.
felt like that was the time to do it. But she's fine.
Good deal. So I've kind of coined this the Kamenzian shuffle that you used in that inning, going that kind of switch. But the flexibility that you have with them and the versatility, that's kind of rare, I guess, that you have the player that can do that kind of thing. Would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's great that she, can obviously compete so well in the circle. She can play positions too, Ha can, but just also not necessarily knowing if she's going to go in for that DP position and kind of using that, but just being ready. And so I just think that she's handled it so well and obviously come up clutch like for us. I mean, our last 3 at bats, I think were hits. So she's doing really well in that role.
And then one other thing, we didn't get a chance to talk to you after the perfect game today.
How about it?
How excited were you for that?
Oh, I was thrilled. I was thrilled. I think if I'm being really honest, when you're sitting at 7 and you know what she's working on and you're just like, okay, let's just get one more, and like she gets through another clean inning and or like, okay, we're going to get one more. And then we don't, just for her to keep her focus and just absolutely execute her pitches. And it was just in this offensive game, you just don't see them that much. So it was just a really, really special outing. And so I'm glad I got to witness it. She was quite the competitor today.
Is there any talk in the dugout when that's going on, or is it just like taboo?
There better not be. No. No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm down on my own world down there working with her and Ken. And so I'm not sure what there is. I do think that there seemed to be mounting like excitement, of just like, okay, every inning and kind of knowing what was on the line. And then obviously you could see it with that last out of just how elated everybody was and how excited they were for Rob to have an outing like that. So
what was working well in that? What pitches were working well? I mean, you had to have pretty good command of all of them.
Yeah, I felt like all of them were working well for me. And I was just like learning from past pitches if I missed them. My changeup was really good. My rise was good. So I was just feeling good all around.
I hate to hog this, but one more thing. I think you only faced one batter that got 3 balls on you. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, have you ever had a more dominant performance than that?
Not that I can remember, no.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Ethan?
Sure, I'll just ask a couple real quick. Robyn, you told me I think it was in a fall game that you've just worked on your mental so much, since last season. That took a lot of mental, like hanging on 7 runs to keep going on there. I guess in that moment, what was going through your mind?
Just trying to stay present with each individual pitch, not trying to think about the situation or make the situation too big, and just kind of staying in my own world and kind of staying with the infielders, just talking to each other, not really trying to think about what's going on.
And then I'll just ask one for Courtney. Y'all have been pretty good so far this year of really responding after a loss, just with y'all's next time out. What do you think that's a product of?
Well, I think it shows our character more than anything. This game's all about, how you face adversity and how you learn, how you grow. And so we we know it's going to happen. The adversity is going to happen, but how does it make us better? And how does it make us, how do we respond? And each time we've answered, and I think it just shows a lot of character in this team.
Jacob?
Yeah, it's Courtney, but that's okay. I have the wrong name. I'm sorry. But Robyn, no, you're good. You're good, Grace. Robyn, we asked you what was working for you out there, but I mean, how did it feel? I saw the videos that Razorback softball put out, and it was heartwarming just to see your team react with it. I mean, just how did it feel? I mean, that might be a silly question, but I want to know.
I mean, it was awesome, and just seeing everyone so excited for me really kind of made it feel really nice. I was just really proud of myself, proud of my teammates, because I mean, Reagan Kramer had a really good play in the outfield. Like, you can't have that without your teammates and your defense. So just really happy for the whole team.
I mean, when you had done it, I mean, I saw your reaction. You were just like, it was just pure joy. And the team was for you. And I saw Coach Deifel as well. It just, everyone was so ecstatic for you. And to have to have that performance in the Razorback history books, right? I mean, that's got to feel like it just meant a little bit more, right?
Yeah, it did. Definitely did.
And Coach Deifel, I mean, you talked about the moment for you when you saw it happen, but seeing the team react and everything, what was it like watching it from the dugout?
It was just a really cool moment. I know that it makes me emotional because you just that's what it's all about, is just to celebrate each other and just trust yourself so much that you can just stay really present when those things start to mount, and there's just you see it kind of coming through. A lot of times you could kind of push a pitch or not trust, and the fact that she just stayed the course and just executed and trusted herself, it's just such a cool moment, and the team just mobbing her. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's why you play team sports. And so it was a cool moment. It made me emotional a few times. I'm a mom, I'm emotional. But I was just so proud. And not just proud of Rob, but just in the way everyone celebrated her. I mean, I keep saying it. That's what it's all about.
Oh, I think it made everyone emotional. I mean, I was reading through the comments. I was like, oh my gosh, this is hard. I wasn't even there and I want to cry, but a great moment. Courtney, really quick for you before I pass it over to Ethan, because I know he has his hand up, but kind of in that second game with Wichita State, I mean, you talked about how your team responded, but where do you think was the shift? Because, for a little moment there, heading into that fourth inning, it looked like, okay, this may be a battle all the way to 7 innings. And it just looked like something just clicked with your team. Did you feel that way? Was there a mindset shift? What kind of happened in between those 2 innings?
I honestly feel like we were really dialed, locked in from the beginning. And you could see it in our presence. They've been grinding with Coach Gibson and Coach Gasso, the offense of just what we want it to look like. It may not be the outcome, but what do we want it to look like? How do we want to compete? And they answered that challenge. And so I just felt like from the first at bat you could just feel it in us, to where it was it didn't matter what they were going to score. And we know Wichita State, they're going to throw punches. We've had some really big battles, and we just talk about, we always have to punch back and make sure our punches are a little stronger. That's what the game's all about. But you just saw a little bit of back and forth, and then they just dug in and really took advantage of pitches that they left over the plate. They handled their counts really well. They didn't try to get too big. They I mean, obviously, if you have 13 runs, there's a lot that went well in that inning. And so I'm just really proud of them.
Awesome. That's all I have. Thank you both. And congrats.
Thank you.
Ethan, wrap us up.
Yeah, I have 2 more. So Robyn, we're talking about getting mobbed by the team. I think you're the latest on the list of people that Hannah Gammel's picked up. I think that's the first person who touched you. I would think we've said silly question a lot, but what has she meant to you just as a sophomore? I know she's kind of a leader on the team. What has Hannah meant to you?
I mean, she's everything, she's really comforting on the field, but also I know she's my biggest supporter. I mean, all of them support me, obviously, but she's so vocal that she really just draws my attention. And right when the last out was made, I knew she was coming for me.
You brace yourself, oh gosh, she's gonna get me.
Had to brace for impact. But no, I love her so much, and she really is just a light for all of us.
Yeah. And then last thing I have, Grace, correct me if this number is wrong, but according to the stats, there was 3,549 people today, which would be a program record for a single game, if I'm not
That
wrong
is
on that.
correct. Yep.
All right. What does that mean, guys? Y'all, I mean, for both of you, just that y'all are drawing record crowds, it's February still? In February, yeah.
You want to answer first? or-
I think it's really cool, even early in the season when there's not SEC play yet, to see that our fans still want to come out and support us, and that it's such a big environment even so early on in the season. It's just really cool to be there.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off what Rob just said. For us to have that crowd in February, it's huge. I feel like our fans have continued to show up for us and just even more and earlier. And for us to have that crowd in February, obviously the sun was shining and it was nice, so that was helpful. But I think that they follow these players and they're fun to watch, and I think it's a product that they're really proud of, and they know that they're so close to it and they play with such passion, but they bring a lot of emotion to the game too, and today they absolutely were an advantage for us. And so it's just fun to see them show up for these players. They deserve it, and so hopefully they just keep coming out. It's pretty awesome.
Great. That's all I have. Thanks, y'all.
Right,
Grace
thank
is
you.
tired, so let her go home.
Time to go home.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.